Hey, gang, the weather in the northeastern part of the country, especially in the Philadelphia and surrounding area, kind of miserable today and was yesterday. And the weather forecast for the next several days is a bit yucky. I feel for the people who, I know what this is like. I feel for the people who wait all year to have that 1 week at the Jersey Shore and then have a bad weather forecast. Believe me, been there. If you want to get out of the bad weather, can I recommend Parks Casino, where tonight Almost Queen is performing? It's summer. Things are hot inside at Parks Casino, the #1 casino in Pennsylvania. One of my favorite places to go, the only casino and sportsbook that I recommend, and a great lineup. I mean, they got all the table games, 3,200 state-of-the-art slots, all that fun stuff, but also some great live performances. Third Eye Blind, Tesla, not the car, the band. Comedian Russell Peters, the Wallflowers, Melissa Etheridge, Australian Pink Floyd, Lewis Black, the comedian, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Get out of the rain, go to Parks, have some fun. For tickets and a complete list of upcoming shows, visit Parks Casino with an X, parkscasino.com. This is how you win. You'll love it. Got to be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. So this will be an abbreviated update because I'm caught up in breaking news pertaining to the newspaper headline that I just flashed in front of you. We had a great program planned for CNN today. I was going to do a combination of the trans Arkansas trial, talked about it on radio. First time that a court has determined that one of these attempts at stopping transition care for transgendered minors is unconstitutional. I didn't express that well, but I think you get it. So I wanted to focus on that and had lined up one of the experts from the case. That's off the table. If you're wondering why it's today's poll question, that's the explanation. Then was going to do an update on the Titan, the submersible, everything that happened this week, but from the perspective of why was social media so nasty when those people's lives were imperiled, and even after we knew they were dead. Wanted to also do the myth of decline. You know, why is it so appealing when politicians want to turn us back to yesteryear? Were things really so great in yesteryear? Data says not. And then a Hunter update. Because of the revelations about Hunter this week and his plea deal and so forth. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing any of it. Because last night we were eating dinner and Chinese takeout, if you're interested. I recommend the #4 with snow peas. And I'm monitoring CNN. All of my scripts are done. All of my questions that I expect to ask, I've written. And now comes a story that there's something afoot in Russia that some, not at CNN, but that some are describing as a coup. The lead from the Times print edition says this: Russian generals late on Friday accused Yevgeny Prigozhin, the outspoken mercenary tycoon, of trying to mount a coup against President Vladimir Putin as the Russian authorities opened an investigation into Prigozhin for organizing an armed rebellion. I mean, this story's like out of a Russian play. This guy, Prigozhin, and you've seen him on television, and you see him in the thumbnail for this conversation, came to rise and is known as Putin's caterer. Because when they were both in St. Petersburg, that's what he did. I think he started with a hot dog stand and became a caterer, and today is an oligarch, but he's also an oligarch who runs this private military organization that Russia relies upon, comprised of this sort of witch's brew of special forces and also convicts who are given a choice that they can get out of the slammer if they go vote, if they go fight for their country. So now they're at odds. Prigozhin says that his unit has been subject to errant military strikes by Russia. He wants a change in the leadership. Whether it's a coup and he wants a change at the top of Russia, unclear at this point. Doesn't seem like he's marching toward Moscow, but is marching toward the Southern Command. Why? Because that's where the weapons are. So there's great tumult in Russia. Has to be a good thing for Ukraine at this stage. And last night, I found myself on the phone with Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, asking him if he'll be my guest on CNN today, and he graciously said that he would. Initially, he said, I got to be on a plane to Kyiv. And I said, Colonel, you're perfectly suited to talk about this. Remember, it was Colonel Vindman who was listening in on the telephone call between President Trump and President Zelensky, the so-called perfect telephone call. Well, one of the perfect telephone calls. And then when Vindman dropped the dime, that became the Trump impeachment. That was Trump impeachment 1. So my focus with him is not going to be to relitigate what went on with that. Trump's got nothing to do with it. I'm just telling you that that's a sort of an interesting footnote. So I'm spending my time quickly getting brought up to speed on what are the latest developments. And my expectation is that we'll probably spend the entire hour of the CNN program today talking about what's going on. I don't know how, just based on what I've read so far, and my own common sense, I don't know how this is anything other than an utter failure, big picture, on the part of Russia and their, 16 months long invasion of Ukraine. If things were going well, this wouldn't be taking place. And this mercenary group, the Wagner Group, named for the German composer, the Wagner Group, they're the ones who lay, claim to quote unquote victory in Bakhmut, but victory cost them 20,000 lives and the city's in ruins. So we'll see. Yevgeny Prigozhin, the founder of the Russian private military group Wagner, on Friday accused Russia's military leadership of killing a huge amount of his mercenary forces in a strike on his camp, and vowed to retaliate. Many dozens, tens of thousands of lives of Russian soldiers will be punished, he said. Putin did a televised address today to the people of Russia and regarded this as treason. Prigozhin is at odds with the leadership of the Russian military, and the Russian Federal Security Service, I presume, is now going to attempt to arrest him. So it's a very volatile set of circumstances. I also have to say this. I'm pleased to be involved in CNN's coverage because this is one of those cases, just like the Titan. When we found out that the Titan may have been destroyed, the submersible headed toward the Titanic, where did people go for their news? Instinctively, they go to CNN because CNN has such a tremendous footprint. So if you'll excuse me, I've got to go put my head down, study up, get ready, deal with the breaking news and not all those subjects that I thought I would be talking about today on television. Maybe they'll hold till next week, maybe not, but that's just the nature of the biz. Okay? Wish you all good things. Have a great weekend. Please tune in 9 a.m. There's no way that today's show is going to hold up for a 3 p.m. rebroadcast. I know that going into it as well. So should be interesting. I've got a great guest, at least to start the hour. See ya.